Hi, this is Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger, and thank you so much for joining me for Your Next Sale is Closer Than You Think. So my first question to you is simply this. Would 3 more sales in the next 7 days help you? Real quick question. Would that help you? Would that help you to gain more confidence? Would it help you to gain more revenue? What would 3 more sales in the next 7 days do to help you? And I know a lot of you are taking notes, so just grab that piece of paper and write it down. What would 3 more sales in the next 7 days mean to you, to your business? What would it mean to your confidence? I'm waiting. Write it down. Okay. So why am I bringing this to you? Well, I've been doing what I do for a very, very long time. Most of you who have heard me before know that I have been doing sales leadership and sales training for 4 decades. That sounds a whole lot easier than saying over 45 years, right? So some of the stages that I have been on, I've worked with Morgan Stanley, I've worked with Edward Jones, done the Next conferences, Black Women's Expo, Inbound. I've been on television. I do small things. There's a cute little photo here of me with a bunch of my students because I'm also an adjunct. And I do retreats and a lot of different things. So in addition to all of that, I've also got a couple of books out. My first book was You Lost Me at Hello, Actionable Principles That Move You Beyond Networking. And my most recent collaborative effort has been How to Break the Glass Ceiling and Still Keep It Nice. A lot of people think I'm a little bit tough, and I admit it, I own it, because the majority of the work that I did back in my youth and coming up through corporate, I was leading middle-aged men in suits. All right, so I had to be that tough person. And as one person told me when he met me in a management meeting, you sure must know what you're doing because they didn't hire you for your looks. Okay, thank you. But I have been that person who helps people who think they can't sell become top performers. That's what I do. And I love doing that because my story is that I started out as literally a homeless teenage mom. And I went from there to the boardroom and a lot of different boardrooms. And I still sit on advisory boards and things like that. So what I want you to do is break through whatever your limiting beliefs are right now regarding your capabilities, regarding your business, regarding the revenue that you can earn. Bust through all of that. It has nothing to do with where you are going. All right. I tell my clients frequently, draw the line behind you. Because if you draw the line in front of you and say, oh, this is the line, cross the line, you just created another barrier. Draw the line behind you because everything that's behind you is what made you who you are today. Let's move forward from this point. Draw from experience, but move into your future. Are we agreed on that? I hope so. So the challenge is you may see it. You see Charlie Brown sitting there? You see that pattern on his shirt? Do you think that's what your sales are like right now? Oh, I got some clients. Okay, but now I'm through serving them. Now I'm broke again. Oh, I got some clients. We're going to help you to level all of that out. And some of the preconceived notions you may have regarding that is, number one, you don't have enough prospects. Okay. You don't get enough appointments from the prospects that you currently have. Or the people that you're talking to, the people you do have conversations with, they ghost you. You're not getting enough conversions. We're going to address those things today because the whole point of this is to show you how to use what you already have and not to sell you something else. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not going to try and sell you another bright, shiny object. I'm going to show you how to leverage what you have already created to build something bigger, better, faster, stronger. Okay? So I have been coaching businesses like yours for over 15 years. And then, as I said, before that, I was doing corporate sales training and leadership. All right. And if you want to sit down and have a conversation with me, I can tell you what that whole journey was like. But now I bill myself as sales manager on demand, and I offer private and group programs. If you need a speaker, I'm your girl. And you can find more information on that at askdsb.com. But right now, for you, let's talk about changing your perception and the perception of your prospective clients regarding what it is that you're offering. We're going to talk about value-based selling and also authentic engagement. Okay, this will help to alleviate or get rid of any discomfort that you may feel about what you're offering. Sometimes when we think about sales and selling people, we think, oh, it's sleazy, it's icky, it's disingenuous, whatever. Sales is service. That's all it is. Sales is service. They have a challenge, and you have the expertise and the education to affect change for them. Sales is all about value, not price. You're solving a problem for them. And then you are clarifying why, out of all of the different options that they have, should they choose you? Sit back with that for a second. Think about it. Why choose you? In order for you to clarify that, and again, this is all about using what you already have. Let's talk about this. First of all, let's review your offerings. Your lead magnet, and I hope you all have one, but that's that little something, something that you give them to entice them to get on your list. That's your lowest offer. That's your freebie. Okay, and that could be 10 tips to do whatever it is. It can be the top 5 things you need to know in order to ... It's your freebie. It's that thing that you wish they knew before they called you, because it just shortens the distance between pleased to meet you and thank you for your business, because that's what the goal is. So your lead magnet is the lowest offer. That's that free or almost free, you know, whether it's $5, $10, totally free, whatever, that's your lowest offer. Now, beyond that, do you have a medium level and do you have a VIP? You've got to have options. When you find that ideal person that you want to work with, you want to make sure you meet them where they are and you offer them the best service that you can for where they are right now. But you always want to have options for them, a step up or a step back, because the goal is to keep them engaged with you. That's the whole goal of it. So, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on, but I have a Facebook group, and my Facebook group is free, and I'll tell you how you can join that if you want to. And I do videos for them. I offer them special consultations. I dial them in on special offers and things that I run across. I connect to them with people. That's my freebie. And then I also have group work that I do, and I have private work that I do. They've got choices, and I have choices. So you need to determine where you want people to show up in your sales process, because that's going to determine the type of conversation you have with them. And we're going to talk about those conversations in a minute. So what is your revenue routine? Okay, what do you know about your business and how do you run your business? Again, I told you, I'm not trying to sell you anything. These are things you need to know, because when you present yourself to individuals, when you start with that introduction or that elevator pitch, that needs to completely land them on one of the things that are going to bring you to your goal. That's what it's about. One of the things that I'll say if I'm talking to a group of business owners, and frequently I'm talking to a room full of men. Why? Because I'm not scared. Okay. And I'll have a conversation with them. And I will say, hey, I'm Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger, and sales is my jam. I work with owner-operated businesses to help them to achieve three things. I help them to get more business, to sell more to their existing clients, and to increase referrals. If this is a challenge for you and your business, I'd love to have a conversation. Done. Done. Because they're going to land on one of those three things. And from that, I know if they're going to go into my low, my medium, or my high. So what is your revenue routine, and do you know your numbers? Step number one is to write down your sales goal. What's your sales goal? Do you need to make, let's talk about the remainder of this month. How many sales do you need to make in the remainder of this month? 2, 5, 100? What do you need to make? Write it down. I got my eye on you. Write it down. What's your dollar value? How many sales do you need to make? Okay, now let's talk about pricing. If you need to make, I'll keep it easy, $500, and your product is $100, that means you need to close 5 people. Terrific. Okay, using what you already have. How many current clients do you have? 2, 3, 5, 100? Write it down. Okay, fine. Now we're going to move forward, because your current and your former clients are your buried treasure. That's your buried treasure. Reaching out to those individuals. We're going to talk about a testimonial formula, but reaching out to your former clients and finding out how they used your service, how your service is working and performing for them. Where else do they network? Who do they know who could benefit from what you're doing? Or should you be trying to upsell them from your low to your medium, or from your medium to your high? These are people who have already paid you. They know you, they like you, they trust you. And if you don't have a high, if you don't have something to sell them into, this is your business. You get to make it up. Create it, and create it now. What would further serve you? What else would you like to learn? What else do you need to create? I can do that for you. Make sure that you include, when you're talking to them, the success stories of people that you have been working with. As we go through the testimonial formula, which is coming, you need to remember that when you're having conversations with your current or your former clients, you want to clarify how they benefited from what you offered to them, what you delivered to them, and what is their next. Because even if it's something that you don't do, guess what? You probably know someone who does, that you can recommend them to. That's a good reflection of your brand. That will still keep them engaged with you, because you're someone they don't want to lose touch with, because you know people and you know stuff. Okay? So when you're reaching out on that phone that you have, and you're talking to individuals and you're reconnecting with your clients, okay, fine. It's probably going to fall into a reintroduction. But let me just cover these 4 types of no sales phone calls that you can have with individuals. First of all, how many people have you not followed up with from networking? How many people have you not followed up with? You've got that list somewhere. You kept it. You've got business cards, you've got chat records, you've got things. So you want to call them and say, hey, we met at this particular event. I am so sorry that it took me a while to reach out to you, but I do want to find out more about your business. and the types of introductions you are looking for, because networking is one of the ways I grow my business. Tell me about yourself. Not selling them anything. How can I assist you? The second type of phone call is the reintroduction. Hey, we haven't talked for a few months. We haven't talked for years. We used to work together. Girl, the last time I talked to you, you were hating your job. What's going on? Find out, reconnect. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to ask you what you're up to. And you're going to tell them, well, this is the business that I'm doing right now. And my clients have been giving me these great success stories. For instance, there was a person I worked with recently who had this particular challenge, and I was able to deliver this kind of a result for them. So I'm really proud of what I'm doing right now. You didn't ask them to buy anything. You reconnected. It was a reintroduction. The next one is the appointment. The appointment is, hey, Mary, the last time we spoke, you said you were looking to meet people who were in this particular area, or people who were in nonprofit, or people who, whatever it happened to be. I have a person that might be a good introduction for you, or I have an event that might be a good one for you. Can we schedule an appointment to have a quick chat so I know if this is worth your time for me to connect you? That's all it is. You didn't sell them anything. It's an appointment to have an additional conversation. Why do you want to schedule an appointment to have that conversation? It's really simple. You're busy and you want them to know that you're busy, but you're creating space for them. So I don't care if you have nothing else to do but yoga, Pilates, or a walk around the park with the dog. You schedule the appointment, okay? And then you take it from there. And again, this is a non-sales conversation. Lastly, there's the invitation. A lot of people, a lot of you all know that I deal with one group called Women Who Network. And I may say, hey, Jane, the last time we spoke, you said you wanted to meet women business owners, women entrepreneurs who were whatever, whatever. I have a group that I network with a couple times a month. And there are a number of women in that group that fit that area. Would you like to be my guest? Would you like to be my plus one? You didn't try and sell them a thing. But you're in their circle. You've got their attention. And that's what the invitation is, making people your plus one. This is all about re-engaging with people that you've lost touch with, or deepening the relationship that you have with those individuals. Now, you may feel that you need a process to do that. I highly recommend it. And that you need a script. I highly recommend it. Why does Donna recommend it? Real simple. The doorbell will ring, another call will try and come in, someone will knock at your door, the baby will cry, whatever, stuff happens, and you lose your train of thought. But if you glance down at your script, you know, okay, I was at point 2, I need to move into point 3. You don't have these other things distracting you so that you start fumbling for your words. That's why it is so important to have a script. And creating those scripts is one of the things that I do with my clients. So you want to make sure that you jot down for yourself the 2 or 3 or 4 things that you don't want to neglect doing in each of those types of phone calls. The introduction, 3-4 points. The reintroduction, 3-4 points. The appointment, 2 points. The invitation, 2 points. And just have it as a little sticky note on your computer. I'm not talking about doing a huge telemarketing script. I'm saying just make sure that you cover what you intended to cover when you picked up the phone. Next, yes-testimonials. And we're getting ready to come into the home stretch here. But yes-testimonials are so key. Those are the recommendations that you get from people. I forgot to put the trademark on there, but that word yes-testimonial I have trademarked. And the reason is simple. I was on a podcast and I talked about the formula for testimonials, and the host on that said, "Oh, that's really juicy. I like that. Did you trademark that?" I said, "Sure did." Then I got on the phone and called my attorney. So if you have something that is unique to your business, trademark it, protect it. Because trust me, I have been hit with cease and desist orders for things that I had used for years, but here came back. So I learned my lesson and I trademark and copyright my materials. So the testimonial format is very, very simple. And again, I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm showing you how to leverage what you already have. The testimonial format is 3 steps. Number 1, what was your business like that prompted you to call me? What were you experiencing before we got together? Secondly, while working with me, what happened? What changed? What did you learn? And thirdly, after working with me, and then you have that money line. Because remember that the people who work for you are paying you for 2 things, your experience and your education. That's what they're paying you for. You are the expert in whatever the business is that you currently represent, whether it's your personal brand or someone else's brand. You are the expert, and that expertise is what they are going to be, pardon me, what they're going to be paying you for. That is the service that you provide. You know, I have a doctor I'm working with right now. I have one knee replaced. I'm going to have the other knee replaced. You know, what can I say? And when I go in and see him, it's like $50. And he spends like all of 10 minutes with me, you know, unless I'm having x-rays or something else. But I mean, it's 10 minutes. But why? Because he's top of his craft. And it doesn't take him all day to go through what I need to know. And I don't spend all day sitting in his office waiting for my turn to be called. So I'm paying him for his education, his expertise, and his professionalism. That's the same thing they're paying you for. That's what they're paying you for. Your unique perspective, your connections, your expertise. All right. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, because some of you are going, "Oh my God, Donna, how can I make that happen?" It's really simple. Have a conversation with your client. "Hey, John, what made you decide to reach out to me? What was the challenge you were going through?" John tells you. "Okay, and while we were working together, what changed for you?" He tells you. "And now that we've worked together and you know, we've been doing these things for a while, what have you realized as a result of our engagement?" That's the money line. Because when that is a part of the recommendation that an individual gives you, when someone else reads it, they're going to go, "That's the person I'm looking for. That reflects my challenge. That's my problem. I would pay to get rid of this challenge." All right. So I'm going to show you how that looks. I've got over 40 recommendations on my LinkedIn profile. Connect with me on LinkedIn. But here's one. And I'm going to walk you through the program. Here's the challenge. He had a high profile but high maintenance client that was requesting services of him that were beyond his scope of work. He actually had a client who was telling him how he wanted it done. And I said to him, "Why? If he knew how to do it, he should have done it. He came to you because you're the expert. So this is what we need to say." And while talking to me, he learned how to effectively communicate his position in a positive way that the client could understand. And as a result, he was able to what? Retain a difficult client. Somebody's going to read that and say, "Oh yeah, I got that person that's biting me in my backside. I need to talk to her about how I can keep this person in line." That was the money line. I'll give you another example. Cheryl. Cheryl's been on the stages of Essence Festival. a few stages actually within Essence and a number of other global entities. But this is what she said. She used to be the head of supplier diversity for Nielsen, you know, the TV people. So she said, having always been on the receiving end of asks and pitches throughout my 30 years of corporate America, that's where she was before. What was the transformation? What was the transition? Donna taught me the formula for making a successful ask as an executive coach. And trust me, she ain't cheap. All right. So then the money line, her advice vastly improved my conversion rate. That's the money line. So someone who's having trouble closing the deal, closing the sale, moving people from, as I said before, pleased to meet you, to thank you for your business. They're going to read that and say, yep, you know what? Donna's who I need to talk to. Because if an executive had that problem, I don't feel bad about having that same problem. That is what a yes-testimonial is all about. So using what you already have, your current clients and your former clients, marry that with showing up in the right rooms, the rooms that are full of the people who can value your expertise and pay you at your rate. Please, 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 it's a whole nother conversation that I do, but don't lower your rates in order to get a client. Those clients will be the biggest headache you've ever had. Get paid your value by communicating your value, having these yes-testimonials, being able to say, if someone says to you, you know, Donna, this is what my ideal outcome would be. You would simply follow that up by saying, you know what? I had a client in a similar situation. This is one of my favorite ones to talk about. When I talk to people who say they don't feel that they're being heard in whatever their situation is. I had a woman who was a mechanical engineer who felt that she wasn't getting the opportunities that she was due. By us working together, within the first year, she got 2 promotions, and at the end of 18 months, we had raised her salary a total of 30%. Is that the type of outcome you're looking for? So you give them a success story. They're going to ask you, how did you do that? And you're going to say, well, like I said, she was a client. So when I work with my clients, these are the types of outcomes I'm able to deliver. You have a success story that you can use. And that's the whole point of gathering these yes-testimonials, these recommendations, to give you the proof of concept that you can relate to the people who are considering your services. And remember, you get to make the final decision. Do you want to work with them or you don't want to work with them? That's the difference between a peddler and a professional. That's the difference between a peddler, please buy my stuff, or a professional. This is my value. This is my rate. And this is what having me assist you is worth to your business or to your life or to your health or your security or whatever it is you're offering. So I want you to remember that you actually have a treasure chest of sales. You have people who have said yes to you. You have people who have said no to you. You have people that you never even bothered to follow up with. You have a treasure chest of conversations waiting for you to showcase your value, your expertise, that you can educate and that you can close. You already have that. Use it. And again, I remind you that you can join my free Facebook group, Fearless Sales Conversations on Facebook. Come on and join us. You'll get more training, you'll meet more people, and we will help you to grow. And also, if you like this little short conversation that we had, you're invited to request a free sales process review from me. Yeah, I give away a whole lot of stuff. I admit that. But it's because you are exactly the type of person that I want to pour into. I want to see you grow. That's what I do. I help people. That's why I work with colleges as an adjunct. That's why I sit on committees. That's why I do the giving that I do to the people that I connect with. So I want you to go to my website, www.askdsb, Ask DSB. And there's an option under Connect where you can request a sales process review. 15, 20 minutes, it's all I need. Not selling you anything. I want to help you grow a little bit. If you and I decide that we want to do something, you can ask me, we can talk about it, we can see if it works. All right, but the whole point of this is when you're working with individuals and you communicate your value to them, an interesting thing happens when you tell them these stories and you tell them about the results that people have received from working with you. They're going to say one of two things. How can we work together? Or I have someone that I want you to meet. So this is Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger. I am so happy that you hung out with me a little bit today. And I look forward to having an additional conversation with you. Make sure you email me or text me if you have additional questions, or even better, let's just have a conversation so that I can answer these things for you. Thank you again. Bye-bye.